also struggling, 3-3, but they're favorites on the road in D.C. If they lose this game, the Packers will be under 500 through 7 games. That's never happened since Aaron Rodgers has taken over.
It's incredible, really, going back and watching the tape of this team. I mean, Aaron Rodgers doesn't have much confidence in some of the guys he's throwing on the outside. That seems apparent. But it's more so what they've invested into the defense. I mean, 2 first-round picks this past year. You can't stop the run. They are awful at stopping the run. And it's been their Achilles heel for how long now? I mean, how many times do we have to watch the Green Bay Packers get to a conference championship game and they can't stop the run? I mean, we have to watch this time and time again. It is crazy to me. And at some point, there's going to be someone held accountable. And
Joe Barry.
Well, you could say Joe Barry, but it's been previous defensive coordinators too. When Mike Pettin was there, that was always the narrative. They can't stop the run. Is it Brian Gutekunst at this point, since he can't get in the personnel to do it? Is it Matt LaFleur at some point where he's overseeing it? I mean, we can say what we want about Aaron Rodgers, who seems apathetic at times out there, and they seem lost offensively to figure out what they can hang their hat on. But to me, that it's concerning that no matter what they do offensively, they can't stop the run. Jared Alexander can only be so good in coverage. The rest of the secondary only so good in coverage. They can't stop the run. And look, I don't know if the Commanders can run the football over the well. I know this much. Taylor Heineke can run the football a little bit too, and he'll add to that rushing attack. So it's one of the reasons why, look, the Commanders haven't been good this year. There's no doubt about it. But I'm willing to give him a shot, keeping this thing close within that number. I'll take the 5.5 points. The home underdog, it's been a big trend this year, and Heineke with the way the Packers have looked thus far.
I'm with you. I'm going to take the points as well. I think this will be a good game for Brian Robinson to really show what he can do. They, like you said, they can't stop the run. They're little. That's part of the problem. They're never big. It's never a big team. And they also have a reputation for not being a physical team, that people beat them up. We've seen it over the course of Aaron Rodgers' time there. They get pushed around a little bit. I think they're going to get pushed around this way. I think they'll win the game, but I think it's going to be tight.
Pete, you're flashing that chain this week.
You like that, don't you?
Man.
He's got the Paisan passion.
Hey, by the way, Aaron Rodgers' offense is starting to look a little like the one a couple of years ago where they don't have a lot of motion and pre-snap movement and stuff like that, Brady. And I know he prefers that, but they seem to have success when he was moving guys around a little bit.
Well, moving guys around in part because you're trying to obviously give different looks, get different matchups and all that. Part of the issue, if he doesn't want them to move around, is you got to be on the same page with those guys you're throwing to.
Right.
Because what you're then trying to see is, the defense is going to move around, but ultimately you know exactly what you're going to get from them. And in that way you can be on the same page with the receiver to make your route adjustment based on the coverage. Well, if these are young guys you don't have a lot of trust and faith in, you're going to have a hard time pulling the trigger, and they're going to have a hard time executing.
So you just tell them to go here, you go here, you go here, and just run your route then. That's basically what they're running, the ISO routes again.
What I'm saying is you can run those ISO routes if you know exactly what you're getting in coverage, and you can trust that guy no matter what the coverage is. I can throw you a ball that you'll catch it because we're on the same page. I don't think that Aaron Rodgers is on the same page with anyone out there right now. I mean, Randall Cobb left the game last week because he was banged up. Watson wasn't playing. He had the hamstring injury. I think Dobbs is getting there to be one of those guys he can rely on. Lazard might be the only one. But
he doesn't run.
They miss Devontae Adams, I think, more than they realize.
Yeah, he doesn't run. They have no speed, by the way, until the young guys get going. And they will get going at some point. But until they get going, they look like a slow team.
And that's fine because the reality is they just need a possession guy. They need someone that he can rely on and go make a contested catch because they don't have anyone that does that.
And he hasn't played that well either. Let's not let him off the hook.
I'm not. I mean, look, he hasn't. But at the same time, they also there's no one really out
there.
The
offensive line was bad last week. It was just a bad game for them.
Well, credit the Jets. Quinn Williams should be in the conversation right now for maybe defensive player of the year.
Absolutely.
Lost to the Jets and Giants in back-to-back weeks. Now 2 games behind the Vikings in the division. Minnesota's off this week.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.